We continue following our top story today, the brutal attack on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband at their San Francisco home.
Joining us now to talk about this is Congressman Brad Sherman, representative of California's 30th District here in Southern California. Congressman, thank you very much for joining us. Must have been shocking to hear about this, but I gather you may not have been altogether surprised that this took place.
Well, I mean, to hear that the assailant was shouting, "Where's Nancy?" took me back to January 6th when members of the mob were chanting, "Where's Nancy?" And in both cases, they had every intention of killing her. And this society is being pulled apart. We've accepted the idea of disrupting city council meetings. Or I don't know if we've accepted it, but we see it. We see people at elected officials' homes where they are scaring at least family members. We just see a heightened level of violent rhetoric and sometimes violent action.
As you mentioned, there has been an increase in threats to lawmakers recently, yet security detail doesn't protect family members, even spouses, when members of Congress are not with them. So many lawmakers are spending their own money for security detail. Do you think there needs to be some changes made?
Well, the Speaker of the House has a security detail. Members of the House do not. They've authorized us to at least, get an ADT system at our homes. And it's tough to do the job without being among people. I talk to people at Ralph's. That's my job, and you can't. They couldn't afford to give me a security detail, and even if they could, I got to talk to people at Ralph's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's been your experience with these sorts of threats, with these sorts of problems, aside from obviously the glaring example of January 6th? Have you had to deal with these sorts of things where you get calls or emails or things like that threaten you or your family?
Far less than Pelosi, but you see this attacker, and unfortunately many of the others who commit violence are motivated by extreme anti-Semitism. This guy was saying that Hitler did nothing wrong. And being a Jewish member of Congress, I get more, of course, anti-Semitic violent threats than people who don't happen to be Jewish. So I get a bit more than my share, but certainly nothing compared to what some of the nationally famous members get, and certainly the Speaker.
Well, Congressman Sherman, how are you and your fellow lawmakers ensuring your own safety here in California?
Well, the police know where I live, know where my family lives, and it's aside from that, it's just exercise some vigilance and hope that that most people, look, the vast majority of people are good all the time, and this is just a risk that you have to live with. And as I say, if you're the Speaker, you live with a much greater risk. And this illustrates that although she has protection, that protection doesn't extend to her family.
Wow. All right. Congressman Brad Sherman, thank you very much for joining us. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.